Hey everybody, and we want to welcome you to this week's edition of the Get Your Geek On podcast for the week of May 25th, 2017. As always, we are your hosts, Chuck KIWACZ,
Robert Dukes.
I'm Anthony Arsenio.
And not too much of a busy week this week in the Newslines. We did get finale week for much of our shows, so unfortunately we had to say goodbye for a short amount of time until things come back around in September. So we're going to start things off the way that we do every week here with our favorite segment. On last time we're going to have this segment for the rest of the summer. So take a look at this week's edition of Sweekly. So starting things off Monday night, the Supergirl finale. I gotta say, before we jump things off into it, kind of disappointing. I don't know if you guys got to see it at all.
Did not see
it. Yeah, so basically it was the whole resolution of the Rhea Mon-El storyline, the Daxam invasion, and basically Supergirl had to make like a suicide decision to basically destroy every Daxamite's chance of ever living on Earth by seeding the entire atmosphere with lead. And it'll never go away. So she had to say goodbye to Mon-El. He had to leave, but it looks like he gets sucked into the Phantom Zone. The big thing here was the very last scene of the episode cuts back to Krypton 35 years ago. And like you see Superman go off in his pod, you see Supergirl, and then it cuts down to these people like all in black hoods, and they're putting a baby in a pod, and they say it'll grow stronger on Earth, and then it will rain. And then, like, they just mark a little bit of blood on him and send him off, and everyone believes that it's Rain, the supervillain. And then they also confirmed that the Legion of Superheroes is going to be a big part of Season 3.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely confirmed. So that's going to be really, really, really fun to see what they do with that. So that was, like, the big resolution there. The whole Rhea fight was resolved really easily. Superman, the biggest thing is they said that he reveals that Supergirl is stronger than he is, which was nice to see in this universe. And then the big reveal, which wasn't a reveal at all, is that Cat Grant has known that she was Supergirl the whole time.
Well, Cat Grant everyone kind of expected that from episode 1.
I know, but it was just nice to see that little moment there. We also got Miss Martian returns, so that was a nice little return there. Alex and Maggie are getting married, so that was like the big finale there of the season. I mean, thoughts going into Season 3, what do you hope to see from Reign or... It could be Doomsday. People are saying it's Doomsday. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to go there. Having it been in Man of Steel, and I don't see them going that route. But the Legion of Superheroes, I'm very, very excited about because they can just do deep cut pulls like they've been known to do.
Dream Girl.
I mean, yeah, pitch us your 3 Legion of Superhero characters you want to see.
Oof.
Lightning Lad, they did it on Smallville, so I can...
Young Superman.
That's
Brainiac
5.
Brainiac 5, obviously. Yeah, Lightning Lad would be good.
Saturn Girl would probably be the other one.
Probably because they're kind of giving her a spot in the comics lately. She's been popping up more and more frequently, although she is in Arkham Asylum.
Also, in the Arrow rumor mill, moving on to our next night here, we did say goodbye to a member of the Arrowverse permanently.
Oh, no? Who?
Yes, John Barrowman. He dies. He sacrifices himself.
He
no coming
died
back.
before.
Nothing. And he's come out and said that he is done with the Arrowverse, so he officially did his goodbye to his fans and everything and thanked them for 5 years of fun. But what are your thoughts on bidding farewell to Malcolm Merlyn in the Arrowverse?
How'd he die?
He had to sacrifice himself for them to get off the island. So basically, Prometheus had... the kid and then all of Oliver's crew like in these rigged bunkers, and he had to make a decision of which one he was going to save, and he chose to save his kid knowing that it was going to kill all of his crew. And then they cut to the whole crew thing, and Barrowman basically sacrifices himself so that they can all get out, but you still don't even know if they got out. Like, it very well could be they killed 90% of Team Arrow,
which they didn't.
Well, it left on a huge cliffhanger. It was nice to see him and Deathstroke working together, but I mean, other than that, that was the big farewell that we saw. But rumors are circulating for next season that they've already begun casting for the Spectre.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they already have a Spectre character from Constantine.
Well, they're trying to go hardcore with the Spectre storyline, apparently, for Season 6.
I like the guy they had in Constantine, and I hope they can get him back. That would be awesome.
I think it would be really, really cool, especially because they're going to be doing the Constantine show on the CWC, and they're known to bring those in. But really, really excited at the idea of that storyline. That will make me watch Arrow if you do a Spectre storyline, and it has to be done right.
Do you ever see like the DC animated shorts of Spectre?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
but I mean, what are your thoughts on the potential for a Green Lantern crossover there at some point? If you go down that road, and you've already teased Green Lantern so much in these shows, do you think there's any?
They got it. They have to do it. I'm expecting them to do it.
Well, I remember in the first half of the first season of The Flash, I read an interview with Jeff Johns where he said they don't show something unless they plan to show you.
And Kreisberg said that on Fat Man on Batman.
There's no teases. It's all everything they show
now.
you is something that they're going to give you.
5 things now. Even this season on The Flash, they have the billboard in brightest day, in blackest night.
Yeah.
Come to Coast City when money's tight. Like, But I mean, here's the whole thing. Now that you've established with the whole Savitar thing that you're willing to go completely off comics, you can pull a random Earthling. You can go Alan Scott. You can go Kyle Rand. Like, I'm just saying, it doesn't. You're not tied to Hal Jordan. I think you've established, and that was why I think the Savitar moment was so huge, because you can literally pull anyone you want now and just rename them as these characters. Like, if you have a strong enough reasoning for it, no one's really going to fight you. I mean, there's no back. Where are the fanboys online that are absolutely devastated that the Hindu god of the World War II pilot isn't Savitar? Nobody.
No, I mean, I think what the show did was breathe life into a dead character, and I think the way that they did it was very creative and made you think about it.
Yeah, because Savitar was never one of the more popular DC rogues. He just was a speed villain for a little while.
Yeah.
So now moving on to that, we did get the Flash finale. A lot of things that we predicted. First of all, I just have to say this. You can literally go back like the past 4 episodes of our podcast. Not only did we all call who Savitar was, but I called in the episode that's just me and Robert why he was there. I'm like, I think he needs to go back to kill Iris to make sure that he's literally called all of that, and then literally called the Speed Force ending as well. The one question I have is that Speed Force storm looks an awful like it does in Rebirth.
Yeah. That has been the thing that
Here's the kicker. It's 3 different color lightnings too. If you watch that storm, it's yellow, red, and white lightning. Mm-hmm. So that leads me very highly to believe that somebody was struck by one of those bolts. What do you think on that?
Oh yeah, that'd be a great plot device too. Especially, I'm assuming we're gonna kick into season 4 about 6 months into Wally's tenure as the Flash, where they'll all kind of be, they're hitting their high stride as a team.
Is he in a red suit?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, he's got to be.
Or at least
they got to put him
suit.
in the red and silver. I didn't care for the silver suit so much, but the red and silver suit, they have to give him that suit.
Here's my whole thing. I don't want to wait 6 to 12 episodes for Barry to come back.
Oh, he'll be back at the end of episode 1.
You think so? Because and everyone online's like, oh no, they have to keep him gone to make it meaningful for when he comes back. I'm like, these are the same people that thought Flashpoint was going to last, the first half of the season. It was basically 1 episode.
Barry's the star of the Flash.
That's what everyone's like. Is he ever going to come back? How are they going to go on? I'm like, dude, he's coming back. It's just a matter of how at this point, and how long is he?
Maybe that's their grand plan. Is Wally's going to just go in there and grab him.
It's
happened in the comics.
The moment of Killer Frost, first of all, choosing to stay Killer Frost, but now she's going to be, Frost Maiden. I believe she's good. So I mean, really, really like that idea. Were you hoping that she would take the serum, or do you like that she kept her powers?
I don't know. It kind of broke my heart that she didn't, but I think it's better for the story that she didn't.
And then the HR twist, which we all called.
No, we all knew it was
another thing.
Listen, I just want to say, when he says, tell Cisco that this took strength and he gave it to me, I cried like a baby. Dude. Like a baby. I couldn't stop crying.
I was dying. Like the moment I saw the drumstick drop, I was like, no. But here's my thing. I think they're bringing him back somehow because the synopsis for next season mentions him. Like he mentions him as part of the crew, both Jillian Dorn and Earth 19 novelist HR. So here was my thinking of it. What if it's like some weird Earth 19 thing where their hearts are on the other side of their chest, like some Doctor Who stuff? That's like the easiest way I could write them out of that.
Did they bury him, though? They buried him.
Yeah, they did bury him.
He's buried Alan.
I don't know, man. And then Harry Sinner. Either way, we're not losing Tom Cavanaugh, which is all that really matters for me.
They can't. He's a staple.
Like, how crazy is it that one actor can take the base of one character and make you care about each one, make each one so individually different with the slightest differences? Glasses for Harry, you know what I mean? The wheelchair for Thawne, the drumsticks for HR. Just what are your thoughts on how he's finding new ways to reinvent this? You can write them all you want, but
because it's Tom Cavanaugh. Tom Cavanaugh is a really great actor. If you've ever seen like his early work on
Scrubs.
I mean, like he's like he is
Captain Bubblebeard.
It was like he is a really good actor, and I know a lot of people always thought he had this one mode of acting, but he brings it could be the same character, but he brings different aspects. It's like HR can be playful, and when it's serious, other guys can be.
I think he's one of the only characters that could legit submit an entire acting reel. All based on the character from The Flash. Just literally every different version. But I really, really love what they're bringing to this show. But I want to take our predictions here. So you said the end of episode 1. When do you think Barry's back? I say 3 episodes.
No, because I think that's too long to have him off air. It is going to be the end of episode 1, but it's going to be like something where it's going to be something where
I think
Wally
you'll at least see Barry.
Yeah,
like even if they're
you'll
not
see
grabbing
Barry,
him.
but it's going to be something where something has to pull him out of the Speed Force, or
Maybe
the
they'll
Speed
do
Force.
maybe
The
they'll-
Speed Force is going to release him.
Yeah, maybe they'll do a reverse rebirth and have Wally pull Barry out of
That'd
the
be
Speed
awesome.
Force.
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
That Speed Force storm was definitely straight out of Rebirth. Like, I went back and looked at it. So now I want to get to the thing I love the most in this episode and the thing I hated. So I'm going to start with the thing I hated, was how easily they dispatched with Black Flash.
Oh,
That's twice now. Just
He's a
stabbing
god.
him once and then freezing him. And is he dead now? Like, is that just supposed
I
to be
bet
the
that
end
was
of
just
Black
an
Flash?
incarnation of the Black Flash.
I don't think it's no.
And then the thing that I love, and I need to find out if this was ever in a comic book, was Savitar's plan. The idea to, like, split himself and exist in every single moment from the beginning of time to the end simultaneously with one consciousness. Like,
I
that
think
was
that
so
is
brilliant.
how he was anyways in the comics. Like,
Really?
I think he was scattered through time, but he was stuck in the Speed Force, and that's why he was scattered through time.
But, like, that, the idea of that and the way he explains, like, they will all have the same consciousness tied to me, so I'll literally rule from the Big Bang until the end of the world. Like, that was so brilliant to me. Like, I really, really like that. So I got to find out if that's in a comic book anywhere. But, so yeah, being dispatched with the Black Flash, we got the goodbyes. Iris was saved. I kind of was hoping they were going to kill her. I wanted to see where they're going to go. No, just for the simple fact that I like, if they were going with the Speed Force storyline, stuff like that, there's the doctor that he gets at Marina, I think might be her name.
Yeah.
And now she's a villain working for Black Hole. But I just thought that that'd be a cool way to go with that. I mean, what are your thoughts on maybe Julian getting hit or something like that and becoming Godspeed? Because Godspeed in the comics is his police
It's his
partner.
buddy.
I
yeah.
don't. Yeah, Godspeed is his police partner, but I don't think.
I don't wanna see
I don't
Godspeed
think they're
for a
going
bit.
that speed. I don't think they're going a speedster route.
They
for
said not for the main villain.
main villain.
Could very easily be like a
But
notch
it
or
would be
elite.
well, even outside
Which
of that would
Godspeed ended up being anyways.
That would be a waste of a character for Julian. so.
Godspeed, I think, is one that really needs to come into the show at some point, though.
Yeah,
Just for the simple fact that I want to see the two places at
They
once done.
need to just do the Rogues.
yeah.
They just need to do the Rogues.
Full-on rogues.
The Rogues take over Central City, and then maybe in the back half of the season, Gorilla City comes and takes over Central City, and the Rogues have to team up with Team Flash to
I
stop
actually saw
them.
Nerdist had the balls to put out an article this week saying that the Flash has gone through too many villains and that this season was the worst season.
It's a superhero show.
No.
Well,
There's the villain of the week, yeah, but I mean,
that's like saying Supernatural's gone through too many I just don't get it. It's like the whole point is to get these characters so that you can bring them back. You want to introduce them. If you're not going to kill them, unless you see a body on these shows, you
Yeah.
always know.
And most
So
of the time,
when
if you see a body, it doesn't
there's still
mean
the Earth,
anything.
19,000 versions of them. So
Yeah.
that's the one thing, like, I love that. And I love that that's built into this show. Because, dude, I would like to see it on your thing here. What about a multiple Earth Rogues team up?
That'd be crazy.
yeah, where the actual Mirror Master actually has the mirror guns, and Captain Cold is a meta.
Or they find like an evil version of Gypsy or Cisco, even just something like that
Well,
simple.
yeah.
And we did get to see that. Gypsy and Cisco are officially a couple now, which
And
is
it
really
seems
nice.
like Cisco's going to play a bigger part next season than he already is.
Yeah, which I'm all for.
Because he's going to be the leader of Team Flash.
I was just praying this whole scene, like, if you take his hands, I'll never forgive you.
I would stop watching
I really would, because I was like, he is the heart of this team.
Because
to
we're
me.
getting closer to the one thing that I really, really, truly want.
Which
a
is?
vibe show. Just a full-on vibe show.
I think it would do well. I really do.
Of course. It would have everything you need.
I would
And
say-
he's so cool in that show, too.
Because
He's
I
so
would do
cool.
it like your Doctor
don't-
Who version, where he can have an adventure on a different Earth every episode.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that would be fun as a short, not necessarily like just.
Or I
A
wanna
web
see,
series.
A web
I want to
series.
see a form of hard traveling heroes with Joe West and Grodd in a convertible driving across the country. I would watch
And
that.
it looks like we have our first confirmed cast member for season 3 of Legends of Tomorrow. Kind of deep cuts. Not sure what you guys are going to think about this one. Plastic Man.
No,
That's
Yes!
good. That's actually
I
really good.
love Plastic Man.
I think he's one of
Who's
the coolest.
playing him?
Don't know. Apparently,
They're gonna do Plastic Man.
yeah, they're expecting
It has to be somebody
release the-
funny.
that
It has to be somebody
is
funny.
beautiful.
They're talking about releasing the name this week, but it's
Oh,
definitely.
no one would make such a good Plastic Man. Sam Rockwell.
Oh my
He'd
god,
be so good as Plastic
he
Man.
really would. And what's he doing right now? Nothing.
Movies, I guess.
But yeah, I mean,
indie stuff.
that's a
Indie
big,
stuff.
big addition. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? What
Plastic
do you
Man
think
is
they
a
can do?
gotta
character
get-
that's been around since the
for
Golden Age.
I mean, like,
I know he's been, but I'm saying
It's
like
been
that's a
around
huge
forever.
addition to the team. Like we've never seen a live action version of Plastic Man before.
no, and
you
that's
hardly
like
see Plastic
it's
Man.
I mean, like but that's just You need to. Oh man, how are you going to cast that?
And here's the second rumored additions, whether they're going to be permanent cast members or just one-offs, and I don't know how I feel about this one. The Wonder Twins.
Pass.
Yeah.
Hard
pass. They did them on Smallville in a one-off episode, and
So
I was like,
stupid.
that's all I need to see.
Who cares?
So, I mean,
They're so outdated.
there's no real confirmation of that yet, so I really hope that one just stays a rumor, but I'm absolutely thrilled at the fact that Plastic Man is going to be coming. And then the Season 3 poster they put out, maybe a partial spoiler, it shows Firestorm and Stein separate. Like, Firestorm's all
really?
lit up and Stein is completely separate of him.
Oh,
So
weird.
maybe they're giving him a new partner, maybe he figures out how to do it on his own. I mean, speculation crazy there. But every time they've ever had a promotional poster, it's
I mean,
always
they
been...
had Jason Rush on an episode of The Flash, and then nothing happened with him. But he's
yeah.
Firestorm now.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess not anymore since Rebirth and all that, but he was Firestorm for a really long time after Ronnie died. He was Firestorm until Blackest Night,
Yep.
and then Ronnie
Yeah,
became
his partner
Firestorm
died.
again.
Remember, Deathstorm turns into Salt?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so brutal.
Yeah, that's pretty awful. I love Deathstorm, though. He's great.
But yeah, so I'm definitely hyping me up for Legends Season 3. I think that Plastic Man will be a great addition, and then we can expect 1 to 2 more cast members. I've heard Dr. Fate floating around as
Booster
well.
Gold and Blue Beetle would be great.
Booster Gold, no, apparently Booster Gold series is back on at TNT. Kreisberg let that slip this week, but...
Just put it on the CW. You already have a Rip Hunter.
Dude,
Booster Gold is the founder of the Time Masters.
yeah, it's... You've actually started over the course of the year of this podcast. I've actually started to look a little more into Booster Gold because of you, and I
that's
hate
the
to say
slow break.
he's growing on me like a friggin'
He's
parasite,
great. His
man.
comic series is amazing. The Jeff John series
You know what
is so good.
I think I kind of like about it is just the arrogance.
Oh, yeah. He's a walking
'cause
billboard.
There's nothing compared to that in
No.
the DC universe.
And that's the thing. Like, it's all show. He really is one of the greatest heroes that ever lived. He just, no one can know about that. Everyone has
Would
to
you say
think
that
he's a
like
prick.
him and Blue Beetle are like Green Lantern and Green Arrow? Like that type of friendship?
I think they're probably closer.
Really?
Yeah. Because Blue Beetle, I mean, Green Arrow and Green Lantern, they butt heads once in a while, and they have different ideals and values. Booster Gold and Blue Beetle do not.
Really?
They are just best friends.
That's awesome.
Like Turk and JD from Scrubs. They're best
Oh,
friends.
that eagle!
Yeah, they're basically like that.
So moving on to a little bit of casting news here. Rosario Dawson has apparently been cast in the New Mutants movie as, wait for it, a doctor. So what is she, just exclusively like medical care to superheroes now?
Okay, well,
She
no.
nails it.
Let's talk about this because again, we're starting to notice a trend. So Josh Brolin is now Cable.
Yep.
Rosario Dawson, who's been a staple of the Marvel mainstay stuff, is on Netflix. I lost my mind for a second.
Night Nurse.
Night Nurse, essentially Night Nurse, and she's going to play a big part. I think this is the say where it's like where they're letting you can use our actors. You want people? We want something in return.
Now, here's the bit of New Mutants news that kind of throws me for a loop. So basically, some plot details were released, and they said this is going to be the first hardcore horror movie
story, right, yeah.
set in the X-Men universe. No supervillains, no costumes. What are your thoughts on them going straight horror?
Yeah, I'll take it. They haven't really done horror superhero yet.
So our confirmed, we have Mirage, Magic, Sunspot, and Wolfsbane are 4 confirmed right
Yeah,
now.
but I'm trying to figure out who would they do. It's either it has to be Arcade. Who would be the person that's they're trying to? Arcade would be the only one I would.
Honestly, like now that Logan's gone,
Or Mr.
like
Sinister.
Deadpool is the only thing I have left invested in the X-Men series. Patrick Stewart's done.
Hugh Jackman's done.
I'm really not invested in the series.
Well, no,
anymore.
I get it. I'm just like
I'll watch them.
I'm just trying to figure out. It's the idea where if you're going to bring the horror aspect, it's like Arcade is like that Jigsaw. It's like you want to play a game type character. And I'm trying to.
And then we also got Michael Beach cast as Black Manta's dad in the Aquaman movie, which is interesting because he's played Black Manta in the cartoons and stuff like that.
He didn't play Black Manta. They could not use that. He played Devil Ray.
Did you guys happen to catch the new Game of Thrones trailer?
Yes, I did.
Thoughts on that? So they officially confirmed the final season to be 6 episodes, which we reported like as this show started.
Is it the
that they were
final
down
season?
to 13. No,
No,
There's two,
two left.
right?
13 episodes left. Though,
13
that's it.
episodes.
So like the pace is going to be insanely
gonna take
fast.
3
The
years for them all to
dragons
come
are
out.
huge now. They are massive, like the size of football fields.
I have successfully stayed away from all trailers in the last like 3 months.
Oh, see, I'm dying to see this show, so I'm all about it. But I do want to say that the announcement has been made official on this show. John Wick 3 coming out, my friends, February 2nd, 2019. So they're sticking with the February release date.
Oh, come on, man. Just go out there. What is Keanu Reeves doing?
It
What are
could
you
get
doing? There is nothing outside of it. Unless you're doing Bill and Ted Excellent 3, there is no reason for you not to be doing this movie right now. Shooting people and shooting this movie. That's what we want.
Here's the kicker. Ian McShane confirmed to return.
Of course.
So, really, really, really excited about that. Also added to cast was Donnie Yen.
Of course. Okay. Good deal. Good for you, Donnie Yen.
Really, really excited about this movie. Anybody that watches this show know how much we preach of it. We're actually doing a commentary track, but I got Mark to watch it. Fell in love with it. He's like, it's such a simple plot, but it's so good. But super, super excited for that. Also, just want to say, if you're not watching American Gods, get on that show. I know that Anthony's waiting until the end of the season. Have you seen it yet?
I have not watched the recent episode. So like,
okay.
Everybody keeps saying I caught up last week. Everyone's like, you gotta watch it, and I'm like, okay.
Now, here's the bit of news that made me laugh this weekend. Did you guys, are you aware of the Wonder Woman women's only thing? So, for those of you that don't know, the Alamo Drafthouse, a popular chain of theaters, announced a women's only Wonder Woman screening. No problem with that at all. And the internet lost their minds. They're like, did you ever have a men's only screening? To which they commented, no, but we showed the Entourage movie. And then like, oh, equality is only when you choose it to be. Like, the outrage for this. And it's like, dude, this is the first female superhero movie.
Yeah,
this
it's something special.
It really is. Like, it's an occasion. And they're like, oh, but what about our movie? I'm like, every superhero movie is a men's movie.
You get Superman
they outnumbered
and
200
Batman
to 1. Like,
and Spider-Man.
I am so for this. And they've actually added more, and they've been selling out instantly, which makes me even happier, because I love the fact that women are finally going to have a hero represented.
My girlfriend is super excited to go see
Eva
a superhero movie for the first time since I've met her.
Dude, Eva is so excited for this movie. Like, and I am too. Like, it's this, and every review says it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I legit have not read a bad review yet.
I will reserve my feelings about it until my first viewing.
But, I mean, what are your thoughts on the ridiculousness that this is even a news story?
It's the internet. It's
the internet. So the idea is, like, outrage is the thing of the day. Like, we can have nerd rage, but that's all...
This takes nerd rage to another level.
Tradition.
That's an ancient, it's like, oh, you didn't do this right. No, it's like, this is a movie chain who said, look, we want to do something. Is it a ploy? Is it a publicity stunt? Whatever. The idea is this, like, they did it, and some people want to enjoy it, and let them enjoy it. And just because you're sitting in front of a, trolling in front of a keyboard on some bulletin board somewhere, it's like writing how this or Reddit, and I'm sorry, Reddit people, we just lost you.
Like, if you leave a 3-star review on Yelp, kill yourself. Like, if you have the nerve the sandwich was quite dry, not enough flavoring on it. But no. But, I mean, just the fact that this is even a story is ridiculous. I think the real story here is the fact that they're selling out within minutes of going up. That's what I think the story should be here. This movie is tracking to do $80 million for the first female ever superhero movie. Like, this is what we should be talking about. Let's talk about the positives here. Like, they're already talking sequel.
Fake news. It's fake news.
It's fake news, all right? But, I mean, in this ridiculous world, like, I am so happy that women now have this character they can jump in, because the more people that want to go see these DC movies, the better for me. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, so we're not...
I also heard, speaking of female superheroes, that the Captain Marvel movie was going to tie into Ant-Man with the microverse.
Yeah.
Or the quantum
universe.
The quantum universe,
Be interesting to see what they do with that one. I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp will be coming out before Captain Marvel. So
that looks great, too.
I can't wait for that. I love Evangeline Lilly so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was...
Toriel.
Lost for me.
Toriel, man, in The Hobbit. But moving on to a Star Wars story, apparently Mark Hamill strongly disagrees with Luke's storyline in Episode 8.
Yeah, no, he is...
really?
Yeah, like he come out adamantly against it today.
He's like, he has been very... Ever since The Last Jedi trailer came out, he has talked about at length how he doesn't like where it kind of went. He understands what they're trying to do, but...
But I'm just saying, like, if there's one guy you should keep happy...
It's Mark Hamill.
Really?
Like, okay.
Dude is, like... He is not a diva by any means.
Yeah. He's
like,
nerd god.
He is nerd god, but I mean, seriously, like, this is the last real dude. Like, Carrie Fisher's dead now, unfortunately. Harrison Ford's been written on a cat. Like, this is the lone torchbearer. And honestly, the focal point of the
Well,
entire
I mean,
series.
there's still Billy D. Williams.
Well, yeah, I mean, Lando Calrissian's going to carry us through a new trilogy.
I would watch that.
But I know you would.
I would so watch that.
If it's a Donald Glover Lando
No,
Calrissian?
it's Billy D. Williams and Donald Glover, time travel shenanigans, just traveling through the galaxy.
Take my money right now.
Gorilla Grunt's there too.
Lando, I'm on to see you, other Lando, and I'm here to talk to the younger Lando. You've got to tell him yourself, you got to save Han. Don't betray your friend Han. Also, don't give up your starship.
Anthony, that might be your best quote ever on this show. I think Gorilla Grodd's there, too.
He's always there. I mean,
That's going to be new. We're just going to insert Gorilla Grodd and things from now on. But I mean, I really, really have concerns now
that's
for
really
what the
interesting.
storyline
I've never even heard that.
Yeah,
Well,
there was a
no,
huge article written about it today in Hollywood Reporter.
I think the idea is he's been very like, all right, so for a character that he has loathed and hated occasionally at times, to have him back on the stage as Luke, you're like Luke, because I mean everybody heard the story about what happened in The Force Awakens. He's like he got in shape, like he lost a lot of weight, he got in shape,
And then he was there for a
like
second.
he's like this is so it's like you just want me to do this. Crap.
It's like I could have weighed 900 pounds for this.
It's like, you know, you could have done that CGI stuff that you've been doing recently. And to see, like, you know, and it's like, to see that Last Jedi trailer say the Jedi must end. So here's a character, you know, we saw his growth throughout his character in the first trilogy. Not the first trilogy. Yeah, the first trilogy.
The real trilogy.
The real trilogy.
We don't count 1 through 3.
Oh, they do
I don't.
now. It does count.
I don't
now.
count it.
It does count.
Do you ever watch Star Wars in machete order? Have you ever heard of machete order?
Yes.
It's
like,
episode 4, and then episode 5. Episode 5 ends with the cliffhanger that.
Don't you skip like
that
episode 1 and 2?
Here's how you do it. So it's you watch episode 4, New Hope.
Yeah.
Then you watch Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
You get the big twist at the end that Vader is Luke's father. Then you go back and watch episode 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. Then you go back and because that's like your flashback that explains the whole "I'm your father" scenario. Mm-hmm. Then you go and watch and finish it off with Return of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. It's called the Machete Order. You cut episode 1 out entirely.
Have you ever heard Patton Oswalt's like quick explanation? He goes, "If I could ever time travel, I wouldn't stop the Kennedy assassination and stop Hitler." He's like, "I'd go back to 1993 and kill George Lucas with a shovel to keep him from presenting the prequels." And he does like this whole bit. And he's like, "I'm making the prequels, so you love Darth Vader, right? Well, in the first movie, you get to see him as a little kid." He's like, "In the second movie, you love Boba Fett, right? Well, in the second movie, you get to see him as a little kid, right? And then in the third movie, wait, Luke and Leia, you love them, right? Well, you get to see him as little kids. And the Death Star, you get to see that too, but it's just kind of being built, and Darth Vader's just kind of looking at it. He's like, I gotta tell you, that sounds awful, man. I don't want to see any of that. I don't care how the stuff I love gets made. I just love the stuff I love." And that's how I feel with this. Like, if Mark Hamill dies in this movie...
No, I don't think he's going to die.
No,
You don't
he'll
think
be in
so?
the third one.
I don't think he's going to... I think the idea is that...
Don't they already have scenes for Carrie Fisher in the third movie?
Yes, they do.
Which that was a big debate of whether or not they were actually going to do it.
Yeah.
So this is like a dark trilogy.
Yeah.
No, they are with what we saw with the trailer. It's assuming that they're going to blow up most of the known or what, you know, the fan.
Or they're going to end the Jedi.
Well, I'm not
Or
gonna
bring the
say-
gray Jedi.
That's what I think. I think it's
I
going to
think
be
it's
more
gonna
of
be
like
the gray.
a blend.
It's gonna be a blend.
Well, that's what the gray are.
Yeah, I know.
It's like they're going to blow up what people think, and I think that's what the whole idea of what Luke.
Wait, you guys know that this is confirmed, right? Like, this is why it's so important in the trailer when they show the books. Which, first of all, it's the first time paper has ever been shown in the Star Wars universe. But the symbol on the books is the gray Jedi symbol. Like it is clear as day. So that excites me more than anything. But I mean, I just want to wrap this up by saying I really, really hope that they listen to him a little bit more for episode 9 if he makes it that far.
Maybe they have.
He is.
Who knows? I mean, I'm sure.
He could be trolling all of us.
it's true.
I wouldn't put it past Mark Hamill to troll everybody.
He is the trickster
Joker. He is the
and the
trickster and
Joker.
the Joker. So let's not.
Who are basically one and the same.
So I just want to wrap
One's
things
a
up.
lighthearted version of it.
I want to wrap things up with some Marvel news this week. In Marvel TV news, trademarks were filed today for Spirits of Vengeance TV show.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. It'll make it 6 episodes. They cut Ghost Rider out of S.H.I.E.L.D. because they said the budget was too high for the
Hard
CGI.
pass. Hard pass. Did anybody see the Inhumans trailer?
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Hard
Except
pass.
Lockjaw looks really cool.
Lockjaw looks awesome. But I'm not going to watch a show for a dog.
I might.
There was a show called Lassie.
Yeah.
If they called
Good
the show
stuff.
Lockjaw and then cut
Now,
everything.
if Black Bolt spoke through Lockjaw, then I'd totally
That'd
watch
be
that
really
show.
cool. Yeah, but it looks awful. And
It
Medusa's
looks
hair
terrible.
looks even worse.
And speaking
in
of Marvel,
action.
things are not looking good for them on the comic side of things. Marvel is down 55% in comic
Yeah,
sales
they're
from last
tanking.
year.
They're tanking.
It is insane. They've been dropped out of the top 10 comics for the first time ever this month.
I'm not
First
surprised.
time ever.
They're writing shit.
It's like
But ever, like in the history of comics.
Let's be honest about this, and I'm saying this as a person who reads Marvel comics, enjoys their movies. But the idea is like they have not had a very original story in a decade, and so they're living off of what they're making their movies off of right now are previous works from
the 70s,
from the 70s, and from the 70s and in the 80s, and somewhat in the 90s, and Disney's war of attrition essentially on all their stories. And outside of that, they can't tell good stories because if they do, then they're feeding Fox.
Here's their kicker. They're relaunching stories too quick, so you can't get a reader base that's
they're going
true
back
to
to
them.
legacy
and now
numbers.
they're canceling everything.
Yeah.
Like, they've canceled 9 series this week, including the new Black Panther series, which was just at issue 3. So it's like you're not even giving things time to start.
They
You're
also had,
relaunching things
there's
once a
3
year.
Black Panther stories going, and none of them are doing well. They
There's
just get
8
them.
Avengers stories going right
I
now.
know.
There's 8 different Avengers titles.
Like
Those are all going to be mopped up, though, by the time Secret Empire's over.
Secret Empire was supposed to be their saving grace
Nice.
for this year, and it's not in the top 10.
I really like it.
But I'm
I've
just saying,
been
like
enjoying
that's like insane that they're following this. I mean, I've never seen such a dramatic swing of we're crushing it in the movies, but we can't make a dollar for
because
the
the idea
comics.
is where is the money? The idea, and this is speaking from a strictly entertainment. The money is not to say the money isn't in comic books. It's the idea that they know the library that they have, they know the stories that they tell, and they're going to live off of those stories.
That's the thing is that you're going to reach a point where it may be 30 years from now. But these stories that you're getting now are going to be the stories that they have left. Because you're going to come to a point where you're going to run through
all
your
the characters that are in all these movies are dead. There's no one left. Captain Marvel is Miss Marvel. She's a young girl. Nova is a little kid. Spider-Man is Miles. He's a little kid. Cyclops, little kid. All the X-Men, little kids. They're all children now or replaced with somebody else. Wolverine is gone. You know what I mean? Everyone has been replaced. Thor is gone. I mean, he's just Odin's son at this point, but all their legacy characters are gone. They're somebody else now.
And I can break a little bit of news here. We apparently have the rumored title for the second Avengers movie. Ready? Avengers: Secret Wars.
What?
Yep.
For Infinity Gauntlet 2?
After
What? That's so stupid.
I don't agree with it, but we'll see.
it should be Infinity Watch.
They should just make their... Yeah, it should be Infinity Watch.
It should be Infinity.
Or it should be Infinity War should be the second, and Infinity Gauntlet should be the first one.
I would think they'd go Secret Invasion before you go Secret Wars.
Well, it's just going to be called Secret Wars.
Secret.
But even that, it's just...
This is
Get away from the Beyonder stuff for now.
See, this is why we're saying this. And again, I'm saying this as a Marvel person. If you're watching this, Marvel, go back to basics. Write good stories. I know that you don't want to feed Fox, or Disney doesn't want to feed Fox and give them any more stories. You've killed your first family. You've killed the best thing that was around because of this. You've killed Logan. You've killed all this stuff. You're running out of ideas, dude.
Yeah.
And then final story of the week here was Zack
Joe
Snyder
Quesada.
stepping down from the Justice League movie due to his daughter committing suicide. So Joss Whedon has stepped in to finish the movie.
He's doing the reshoots.
So what are your thoughts on Joss Whedon now being part of the Avengers and the Justice? Like, that is a crazy
Take that.
foot in both worlds.
Not a huge fan of Snyder, but obviously I would never wish what happened to him on anybody. But I mean, Joss Whedon might single-handedly save the franchise.
And if that's the case, like, whatever is going to give me the best Justice League movie is all I care about. And like, I wish the Snyder family nothing but the best, but we'll see what Whedon steps into it. But needless to say, I think it's going to be a great movie all around. And just a little bit of story. Did you guys see they confirmed the Dark Universe, the Mummy reboot, all that stuff? So we got Javier Bardem as Frankenstein, and Johnny Depp confirmed as the Invisible Man.
And we got the Japanese monsters.
Well, the new Mummy
universe.
trailer actually shows the Dracula skull in Hyde's lair and an arm of the creature from the Black Lagoon.
I heard in the Mummy,
he turns into Hyde.
into Hyde.
There's a scene where
if you search YouTube right now, there's a featurette behind that where he sees it's like where you hear him talking. It's like you need a monster to kill a monster.
And then you start to see his eyes going.
And he's like, there's this moment where you clearly see him turn into Mr. Hyde, and he starts kicking.
Get Tom Cruise out of there.
That's what I'm saying.
No. this is actually a good thing.
No, nothing. Tom Cruise is just running. That's all he does.
You know what?
Movies.
I'm flipping it. Keep cruising. I'm in.
I'm not.
You need to have that person in there. Like, you need to have that person in these films. And whether it's Cruise, like, who is just kind of suspension of disbelief. It's like, who has to have his mind is grounded in logic, who can't understand the spirit realm, can't understand the world. And Tom Cruise is that guy. He's going to spend half of that film trying to figure out. It's like, well, one, I should be dead.
They're going to spend half that film making him look like he's as tall as everyone else from that cast.
But he's going to spend half that film trying to figure out how is this logically possible? Jake Green is going to be the funniest thing in that entire film. So that's one of the reasons that sold me on that, is to just see him.
And did you guys see they released the title of the Edge of Tomorrow sequel? Which I think is Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat. Like, which I can't wait for that movie. I don't even. People are like, how are they going to do it with the way they? Who cares? Like, that is one of Tom Cruise's greatest movies.
Yeah, that's the last thing anybody should be worrying about. It's not supposed to make sense.
It's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
Just enjoy a fun movie. But yeah, so I think that's going to wrap things up. Anthony, did you have a poll this week? Nah. So it's a poll this week. So instead, I'm going to say get out there and read Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps issue 22, starting a great new storyline. The Prism of Time wraps up, and then we go into our new storyline from there. So I think for this week's episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast, that's going to wrap things up for me. Any final thoughts, guys?
Nope.
Don't go see Pirates of the Caribbean. Don't let this movie open to $80 million this weekend. And don't go see Baywatch.
I'm going to go see both of those movies.
And if you see the preview for the Emoji movie, hang yourself.
First of all, I will go see Pirates. Second of all, I will go see Baywatch.
Baywatch, I have to go see tonight.
It looks great.
I'm being dragged to it by Eva.
It looks
the
so
reviews
funny.
are terrible, though. They say it's one of those movies that all the funny parts are in the trailers. Mm-hmm. I don't care, though. And then I have to go see Alien Covenant right after that with Mark.
I just saw
Double
that.
feature.
Alien Covenant.
How was it?
I give it
I've read all the spoilers.
thumbs up. It's okay. It actually, it got me a few times. I went and saw it by myself, which I haven't done in a long
Spoiler,
time.
Danny McBride make it?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I care about.
Spoilers. But it's pretty cool.
Does he make it in one piece, though?
You do get to see how the xenomorphs came to be.
Finally.
It doesn't really touch much on what happened in Prometheus.
Yeah, there's a quick prologue, right?
But I will say, Michael Fassbender gives one of the best performances he's ever
that's
given.
one of his best.
He's so good.
Because the fact of the matter is, when you see him, Prometheus,
And there's two Michael Fassbenders.
Walter and David.
Yeah.
So regardless of what we've seen, Michael Fassbender in Prometheus was excellent.
So good.
So
Absolutely.
good as this is because it's just the way he's it was almost like Ian Holm in the first Alien. It was just Ian Holm went nuts.
Yeah.
In this one, you can clearly see sinister intent in
It's awesome.
David
And the Ripley character, obviously she wasn't Ripley.
It's Sam Waterston.
But she was just bizarre. Lackluster performance. I didn't really like looking at her face. And
she was that's the same
Fantastic
lady.
Beasts, Catherine Waterston.
Yeah, I also had no idea that she was the main character until the last third of the movie.
I could have easily told you.
Yeah, I had no clue because I didn't see the trailer or anything. I just love the Alien movies, even AVP 2.
All right, so that is going to wrap things up for us on this week's episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast. Don't go see Pirates. I've been Chuck KIWACZ.
See Pirates.
See Baywatch. Have a week.
And when we come back next week, we'll have our Wonder Woman review.